Hey there, kids. It's me, Oni the Unicorn. And I'm here to tell you that f***ing your dreams ain't cheap. In fact, it costs a ton of cash to do. So that's why me and the Ohno radio show need your help. Just go to the website displayed below and hit us up with some cash, yo. $1, $5, fuck, $1 million if you have it to spare. Any amount is appreciated. Well, I gotta go because these dreams ain't gonna fuck themselves. See ya!
And yes, welcome back once again to another edition of the Ohno Wrestling Podcast. A place where you, me, and all you marks can, come together and join in the fun that is the Sharp Break Kid, the King of Bong Style, and the one and only modern day Maharaja. Ladies and gentlemen, we have some breaking news, and beep-a-dee-beep, 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 beep-a-dee-beep.
Beep, beep, beep,
Oh
beep,
yeah,
beep.
all you motherfuckers lost some hardcore prediction shit to me. And once again, oh, that's right. Have you not heard? Have you not heard the news? That once again, I am your new defending predictions champion. Still, well, I'll do. You don't tell me how to promo me, okay? All right, I'll fuck up my own promo. Thank you very much. My name is Sid Vicious, and I will
break your leg.
And I am dumber than you, and you know it. And
do some math for us.
Yeah, well, I'm not as good as Scott Steiner, but yeah, man. I know I'm bragging, but this was my finest victory yet. I think it was even finer than my triple win on WrestleMania weekend. I think it was even finer because it was a 9 out of 10 matches win. It was a 9 out of 10, guys. This and the only one that I, predicted wrong was the women's match, which should have gone the other way anyway.
So the funny thing is I jabroned myself.
Yeah.
By going back on my Pac prediction and going Miro. And you know what? I deserve that.
Here's even funnier. I win that devastatingly.
You win that.
I win that devastatingly. Devastatingly, by the way. And I don't know shit about Japanese wrestling. I don't know shit. Both of you know way more about Japanese wrestling than me.
You didn't have to know shit about Japanese wrestling to win that.
Yeah, this is true. But
no,
yeah,
it was Pac and Tanahashi that got me.
So okay, let's just like back up. I know I'm being braggadocious and anything, but it was surprising to me, and it was sort of telling. I'm using it as a stepping off point because it did for me make it feel that there were parts of this pay-per-view that were entirely too predictable. Is that something that you guys would agree with?
Yeah.
I think parts of every pay-per-view are too predictable.
That's fair.
Like that's why predictions are always so close. It's because well, there's the safe bet, and then there's it could happen. It's the only way anything,
And I think that's why, when you're doing this first huge cross promotion one, you've got to give people what they're expecting and kind of what they want, because you're kind of also gauging how much more the interactions and worlds going to cross over. How much are we going to allow these promotions and storylines, moving forward, knowing that we're going to do this again. So, let's do it now, and then maybe the next one is where you have some big upsets or swerves
Well,
or whatever.
Okay, so this pay-per-view was obviously plagued from the beginning, injury after injury. Certainly not the card that they probably anticipated on building when they decided to do a pay-per-view together, right? So, but overall, I did find it to be a very enjoyable pay-per-view, but I don't think I got the same reaction that a lot of other fans did, in the sense, like, I've heard a lot of, this is the best pay-per-view of the year, this is the best pay-per-view AEW has ever done.
Right.
I strongly disagree with both. Maybe not both. Maybe this year, but it's definitely not the best pay-per-view AEW's ever done.
You know what I'll say? This is how strong of a pay-per-view it was. This is the first pay-per-view that I have bought.
Okay.
It was a great pay-per-view.
It was a great pay-per-view, and I was not upset about spending $50 to buy it.
I don't need to.
Okay, so just real quick, is this better to you than which was it, where Adam Cole and Punk? No, it was Adam Cole and Daniel Bryan, because Punk was already out by that point. Was it All Out? The last All Out? Because that pay-per-view, I think, was tremendous. I remember that one being phenomenal.
Double or Nothing was...
And Revolution...
It was the one before this, yeah.
Revolution!
The Revolution in Orlando that I missed, yeah, that one was pretty incredible, too. So I don't know. I find it hard to say this is the best. Probably the best pay-per-view of the year. I can agree with that.
Honestly, okay, so... Double or Nothing was the last pay-per-view before this, and I didn't watch that. I didn't watch it live. I didn't pay for it. I was there's not enough on here that is gonna entice me to I was like, I'll watch it tomorrow when I can, when I can. But this one, Forbidden Door, I was like, I need to watch this show. That was my initial.
Who was? Let me ask you this then. What was the big draw for you to as somebody who has yet to buy an AEW pay-per-view? Was there one match? Was there a couple different matches? Was it the whole aesthetic? What was it that made you buy it?
It was the whole
this time?
aesthetic. It was the we have one company here, we have another company here. We've got this company versus this company. We've got the same company, a women's match between the two. There was
there wasn't a women's match between the two companies, and that's
there was a women's match between the same company.
That's something that I hope they obviously change in the future, because I know Bushiroad still owns both Stardom and New Japan, right?
Yes.
So
question mark. Yes.
I think they did at one point. If they don't, that's what you need to do, right? You need, because New Japan doesn't have a women's division. You have it with a Stardom and New Japan, so that the women are represented. That was a big missing factor, and quite frankly, probably the weakest match of the night. Tony Storm and Thunder Rosa.
Tony Storm and Thunder Rosa wasn't going to be a barn burner no matter what.
That was the only match that I kind of even allowed myself to pick up my phone and fuck around on and stuff, and kind of checking news and do other shit while it was on. And I was like, I was barely paying attention. I was like, do I need to go back? I kind of scrubbed back and forth a little bit because it was 5-10 minutes where I was just listening and not paying attention. I don't think I missed much.
We don't have to.
I don't think you did either.
No, you didn't. And it honestly, I've got the list of matches because I'm such an intrepid wrestling analyst. I printed out the list of matches so that we could.
Yeah, but you're not really an intrepid wrestling analyst unless you're throwing them on the floor when you're done with them, like Meltzer.
I should have taken a picture a few days ago. I was getting in Meltzer status before I put him all in my binder. I was Teresa was actually getting a little mad at me. There's too many papers. They're all over Yeah, it was a lot of.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. But no, Thunder Rosa defeating Tony Storm. It was the only match that I called incorrectly on the whole card, and I still think it was the wrong move. I still think it was because what if they didn't do something with this, it was bound to be just basically uninteresting compared to everything. They had to do something interesting with this match, whether that was like a cheating Thunder Rosa win, right? Like or no, it was just a straight up babyface Thunder Rosa win with a handshake at the end. It was a respect match.
Yeah.
They did not need that. They needed a heat.
But that's a very Japanese thing.
Bullshit. Didn't like it.
Who gives a fuck? Everybody else.
My least favorite match of the night.
I mean, my least favorite match of the night too, but it doesn't take away from the fact that like that was still a
banger of a pay-per-view.
Yeah, and it was a Japanese style of a match and a Japanese style of a finish, because that like it's all about honor, not the Ring of Honor code, but you know what I mean. Also, like, fuck off.
That's boring. No, it's just boring. Like, that's like, make wrestling. Have it be heated. Have it be about something. Have it be a feud. You can get away. You can get away with those honor feuds if they have like a long history. You don't get away with that in like a 2 month build.
I mean, also it's just like, what else are you gonna do?
I hate you. Now I really love you and respect you. It's been 2 months, bitch. Like, calm down.
I mean, honestly, a big part of it is Thunder Rosa trying to,
I'm still there
to
dude.
not be a cunt.
See, that's it too. Like, I will forever, I think, have a bit of tarnish on Thunder Rosa because I think she almost admitted that she sandbagged Marina Shafir in that match.
With that whole breaking bread photo?
Yeah. I feel like she almost incriminated herself by doing so. And it makes me kind of like, I've always thought that she's got a resting bitch face and she needs a heel turn. But if you were going to do it, why not capitalize on it now? Because I think you can get her over as a heel. You can still keep her as champion, but turn her heel, because I think you can get Toni Storm over as a face, and you need more of that in AEW.
Here's the thing about Thunder Rosa. I think her gimmick is gonna run. It's gonna run It's gonna run dry real quick.
It's already dry.
Duncan,
Well,
no, guys, you're wrong, because she's got a cowboy hat now. I don't know if you've seen it.
But she's still like, from the graveyards of Tijuana, Mexico. Look, I'm like, be proud of where you're from and everything, but you're leaning too hard into the Cavalera face paint and the Dia de los Muertos aesthetic, and it's already sort of boring, right? Like,
if you're gonna do that, be an evil conniving bitch, like, in the ring, not just like by sandbagging, like, behind the scenes and like, no selling.
Yeah. We've talked,
honestly, like,
I've said it for a while. I just don't think she's great, and I don't think she's a great champion. I also fucking can't get over how much I hate Toni Storm's fucking music. So that's just a big fucking thing for me.
Just push fucking Chris Statlander at this point. Like, get her to that
I'm really
level.
surprised they haven't so far.
They're pushing a little, but they're doing it with this whole like Athena thing, and like the Athena thing, that's something that I noted this past week. I'm like, all you do is fucking run down there every week. That's all it's all you fucking do. And I'm like, I'm actually not excited about watching you wrestle at all.
No, I would be more excited to see a Statlander Rosa match than another one than I would to see an Athena Rosa match.
I want to see Athena Statlander.
But now they'll get there. But now it's Statlander that's running down with Athena. That's what happened like this past week.
Oh yeah, so we're gonna end up with
eventually you'll get there. But
so what we're gonna end up with a tag match of Jade Cargill and Red Velvet, probably.
Red Velvet
again.
Against Athena and
Chris
Statlander.
They go that way. Yeah, that's possible.
So I think that has a chance to like showcase everybody, give us a chance, and then
if we're talking women's division in AEW, you've got to acknowledge the fact that Ruby Soho and Tay Conti are probably going to be like a undercard feud that they're building up as well. Like that's something that they naturally built that at Blood and Guts, which we'll get to later. But it was a smart move because I can actually see that weirdly working that match because they both trained in NXT, they both trained in WWE. They kind of have a bit of that style, you know. Obviously Tay's comes from like the Brazilian jiu-jitsu style, like whatever whatever that is, but you know, they come from that same pro wrestling background, so I think that they can. Like, Ruby's had a lot of stinkers. Tay's had a couple stinkers. But Tay seems to be able to skirt this line of just good enough. And I think weirdly they're going to bring the best out of each other, and I'm kind of excited to see that feud. And for the first time I can get behind Ruby Soho. Perfect person that you're putting up across from her, because we all kind of want to boo Tay because of Tay and Sammy, and they're unlikable.
Some of us do. Vocally. Every time she gets super kicked by somebody, I'm just like, yee. Like it, you know, shouldn't make me happy. Does.
Favorite matches of Forbidden Door.
Favorite matches of Forbidden Door.
Go. I'll give you top three. What are we doing?
Okay. All right.
Ospreay Cassidy.
Yeah, that's my number one. Agreed.
I did like Ospreay Cassidy a lot. That one was very good.
People have been saying, I saw an idiotic comment on this one the other day, and it's like, yeah, what a great match. Tons of good moves. And this person was being serious. I just, you know, I wish they would do more storytelling in AEW. This had no story to it. If you can't,
that better not have been in our group.
No, it wasn't.
Okay, fuck.
This was Owen just got back on Twitter and read a thing.
Oh.
Yeah. And this was a dead serious. This wasn't a troll. This is a dead serious. This person did not understand that the whole entire match, even the commentary team is telling you this story of this lazy guy versus this over exuberant, thinks he's the best in the world, finds it insulting that this other wrestler would put his hands in his pockets, be this lazy. The whole, like, just, you're demeaning what I am by being you.
Right.
That's the story. Like, that's what more do you need, really? Because it's told magnificently in the match. I don't know what Meltzer gave it. I think it was the highest rated match, tied. I remember seeing that, of Forbidden Door with another match. I think the first match, actually, the Kingston Jericho.
I thought that match was pretty fucking good.
That match
that was a good way to start the pay-per-view.
Yeah, it really was. It was a very good way to start it.
Fucking over exceeded any of my expectations. I would still put the Ospreay Cassidy match number one on the list, and I wouldn't put that one second. I might put it third.
I will say the other one I really liked was the Pac, Miro, Malachi, and Clark Connors. And I will say, hey, pro wrestler of the week for me, fucking Clark Connors. Man. That guy was out there taking hits, and then he fucking got his little bit of rub and shine, and then took some more hits. But fucking Duncan, Clark Connors.
I'm not gonna steal your line because you came up with the joke, and you absolutely nailed what this guy 100% looks like. I can't steal this from you.
Me?
No, I thought it was Duncan. Didn't you come up with the joke of what who he looked like? Wasn't it you, or maybe it was someone else?
No, I think it was me. I'm just really stoned.
Oh, Zombieland, remember?
Yeah, he looks like Woody Harrelson from Zombieland.
Okay. I was gonna say I was getting a little bit of like Crocodile Dundee
No.
vibes. But
yeah, but with the hat, but like as
soon
as I saw his face, I was just like, oh my god, it's Woody Harrelson.
It's Woody.
I'm looking at even the graphic for the match right now, and just I see it.
Yeah, it's Woody Harrelson, young Woody Harrelson, Zombieland, like even that
Yeah.
type of vibe.
That one was really good, and I do like how
I
even
preferred
though
that 4-way to the actual like second to main event 4-way, which to be honest with you,
it was
granted,
okay.
granted, see here's the thing. I know it was spoiled by a like rushed finish due to injury to Adam
Injury.
Cole.
sure.
I still didn't think that match was that good. There was a lot missing. It seemed slow. It just didn't seem that everyone was giving it their all. It was missing beats. Like it was all over the place. Whereas you go to the other, like for the what was it, the Atlantic AEW Atlantic Championship, whatever
The All Atlantic Pacific
Yeah.
Reading
All-Atlantic Championship.
the
Railroad.
Icelandic Championship was that match was way better than Okada, Jay White, Hangman, and Cole. Like it just
was here's the problem with that 4-way for me, that Okada, Jay White, Adam Cole, and Hangman Page, 4 fantastic singles wrestlers. They're too good to be in the same match. You need somebody else in there, like, because all of those styles are way too similar. You know, like they all have kind of the same.
I would
like-
say Okada would be the slight exception, and
Yes.
weirdly he's more like Hangman. He does a lot more ground offense, a lot more
More power
more
moves.
power moves than the other two. And like Jay White, more of a submission guy.
Do we hate Jay White?
I'm not sold. I don't hate him, but I'm not sold on Jay
I'm
White.
not sold either.
Me
I'm
neither.
really not sold
I don't know
either.
what I'm missing, but
I mean, other than the fact that he's got a Kiwi accent and it's really hard to fucking take him seriously.
like I'm sold
what
on
about-
I'm sold on Ospreay. If like throw the goddamn money. If I'm Tony Khan, there is one last signing, and his name is Will Ospreay. Like with
but
all
I will
of
say
the,
that. But that match, also credit where credit is due. Orange Cassidy fucking killed
Dude,
that match.
look,
He
wearing
fucking
it right now.
crushed.
Wearing it right.
Yeah,
fucking now.
that was one of his best matches in a long. I mean, he's had a lot of good matches, but like that was an incredibly good match for him too.
It was.
Yeah.
It
It
put
was.
him to the next level of being an actual threat to the main event belt or any belt. Like I can see him winning the TNT Championship tomorrow. TNT Championship almost seems below Orange Cassidy right now. On the level
Yeah.
of star that I think they're building
It's
him
just-
up to be.
It's hard for me to see what the step beyond that is. Like, who are we going to elevate with Orange Cassidy, right? Like, what's the, like, I get putting the belt on Orange Cassidy, but like, who's gonna come out on top after that? I do
Miro.
like the way, before we jump into what I think was one of my top 3, I will say I love how we set up Miro and Malachi.
Oh,
Yep.
that's going to be such a great feud.
It's going to be it writes itself. The God's chosen champion, God's favorite champion, the Redeemer versus the House of Black. You know what I mean? Like,
There's an interesting poetry though about should we do spoiler alert type deal, because it falls into the House of Black deal right now. Should we do it, or is it too early? I mean, we might. I mean, all right.
Spoiler alert for.
Spoiler
Wait a
alert.
minute.
For your likeness.
Yeah, but didn't that happen yesterday?
Yeah, it did.
Didn't it air yesterday?
Oh yeah, it did. Yeah, that's right.
Because it was Friday. Today is Saturday.
No need
Yeah,
for a spoiler.
your-
You're right.
Your boy.
I didn't actually see it live. So,
Your boy.
but yes,
I didn't. But fuck yes, dude.
So what we're talking
And
about, of
King.
course, is Brodie King winning this Rampage, Royal Rampage Rumble or something, whatever they
The
call
double ring battle royal,
it.
whatever.
Rampage
it was.
Rumble, Rampage
Yeah.
Rumble. I
Sure.
like that. I like that. That can be a Rampage
that
thing
too.
now too.
But the way.
Yeah,
He
I saw
won.
I saw it with Darby at the end too.
And he literally just chokes him
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
Darby
drops
goes
like
limp
drops him.
and fucking drops him.
Yeah, it was badass. It was a star-making like shot and
Yeah.
moment for sure.
Now,
Okay, so I wanted your opinion on this because I've had a couple minutes to think about this, and I think that obviously now next week it is, I believe, on this coming Wednesday we have Brodie against John Moxley
Yep. And
for the interim AEW championship.
goddamn, man. Like,
So match will bang. Match will bang hard.
it will fuck hard.
Yes. Is Brodie King winning? No. We already know that. But AEW is not stupid. AEW knows that we know that Brodie King's not going to win. And it would be very boring just to do John Moxley beats Brodie King.
Right.
So something will happen. What will happen? Some involvement of the House of Black. What I think this is a step towards is not the long-term Miro, Aleister Black, Malachi Black, feud. This Brodie King winning is the stepping stone to a long-term Malachi Moxley feud, which can lead Malachi into the actual main event picture, and then you can get Malachi Punk down the road as well.
You can't, if you hear a thud, that's my dick hitting the underside of my desk, because that is the most arousing fucking thought that I have heard.
Is my fantasy booking arousing you again, Duncan?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And I would say I am upset about it, but I'm not. We all know
Hey,
that.
I'm good.
Listen,
I'm better than those romance novels you used to read.
Right. Thank you. Used to write the romance novels and model for my motherfucker. God, dude, if we could get Malachi Mox,
That's it. I think that's what this end goal is.
but do you put the belt on Malachi?
Yes, you do.
Yes, you
Yes,
fucking
you
do.
That's what you do.
Because that's how
exactly
you
what
push
you
that
do.
to the next level.
Yep, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. And you kind
Dude.
of have to. At some point, you have to. Otherwise, we're going to go the way of the Dark Order or something, or just another,
Which is falling apart, and we'll get there.
or what
Yep.
WWE Judgment Day will end up just kind of comes and it goes, and
Because if you don't capitalize on, this is your Ministry of Darkness moment.
Yep, you have to do it. You have to do it.
And you know what he needs to do? He needs to then have a dark version of the belt.
Miro got the mist fucking sprayed hardcore in his
He
face,
did.
bro.
Yes, he did.
So Miro, House of Black, calling it
I
the Dark Redeemer.
Yeah.
I mean, if
The
you wanted to,
irredeemed.
you could. There's a feud with obviously Malachi and Miro before that, but could you do it? I think you can.
I think you should. I think because is AEW too predictable?
Mhm.
The argument that we circle
Sometimes.
back to.
Sometimes.
And sometimes it is. And what were the most jaw-dropping, like, holy shit moments that we remember from wrestling? The ones that we didn't see coming.
So
You don't see look, a lot of people don't see Malachi winning over John Moxley, but it's a perfect way to do it to establish a heel.
What if you had Malachi win it, and then eventually you had Miro join the House of Black, and then you had Brodie and Miro as a tag team, and they win the belts, the tag belt.
Damn.
House of Gold.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then because Buddy Murphy or whatever Matthews is over there, he's in there too. Still, he's
Matthew
hanging.
Murphy.
Yeah.
Whatever his name is, he could be in a feud with Pac, and actually Pac will just kick him out and just take his place, and Pac should be in there. Then we got all the gold, because that would work better actually.
TNT championship. Buddy can get the
but
TNT.
I don't want him with the TNT. A lot more people I want with that TNT. I want
Anybody but Darby.
Wardlow. I think
War Dog.
the problem with putting it on Wardlow is it's how the fuck you ever take it off him. and that's a real issue.
You need to keep Wardlow in the. It's gonna sound. You need to treat him like WWE treated Braun Strowman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like you keep him in the main event, you keep him like he wins big matches when it counts that don't have titles involved.
Yeah.
So,
Tony Khan will invent the Wardlow Cup for him or something at some point,
Or I mean, he's. What do you think? He's wrestling Scorpio Sky on Wednesday for the title.
Yeah, that's this Wednesday.
Yeah.
But it's easy for them to not, no, because he's not just wrestling Scorpio Sky. I believe he's wrestling every member that they
he
want
said
of
bring
every member of the top
American top
team or
Jesus
whatever.
Christ.
So, because he did the one match with all the security guards and destroyed them,
Oh,
so
wait.
he's like, bring them
No,
all
it's a
in.
street fight.
Is that what they're? Yeah, I thought it was like every member, but
I know he said that. He said
Well,
bring him. Maybe he said that, but
and that's gonna
isn't it
happen.
be a street
That's
fight too?
why he won't win, is because every member of American Top Team is gonna jump him and he's gonna lose. Like, so that Scorpio Sky will retain.
Real quick,
Yeah.
going back to Forbidden Door, one of my top 3 favorites, the triple threat tag match.
Oh,
Yeah.
it scared me because, all right, I think it's a shoot. I think it was.
It's a shart.
It's a shart. Shwart. Yeah, the whole like Dax, having to go to the back with his shoulder injury.
Very Cody-esque.
I've heard both. I can justify it and see it as both. To me, it still feels more of a work than a shoot. I think he went into the match with a bit of a bad shoulder. I think that he probably did get to a point in the match where he was like, that shook it. Did he really need to? No, but it was already part of the plan that something like that was going to happen to separate him from the match. I do believe that was kind of in there.
Yeah.
Is he probably working through injury? Yeah. But
I would assume.
But that was a way to get him out of the match for a little bit to disguise and, make sure he's not hurting himself too bad, right?
Right.
That's my general feeling on it. I could be incredibly wrong, but overall, the right people to win, like FTR, are incredible. Like, as I think both of us have said, Duncan, Dax could be
Dax is the new
star.
Bret Hart.
Yeah.
Dax is the new Bret Hart.
Yeah.
I like. Not only does he have the capability of being a single star, like he will be.
So, this is an interesting kind of high thought I had the other night.
Yes.
There's another team, like, we say that, Dax can be absolutely a top single star one day. But there's another member of a tag team that I think is going to be a top single star one day, that everybody thinks is going to be a top single star one day, on the other side of the equation, in Montez Ford.
Oh, I was going to say Ray Phoenix, but yes, Montez Ford is absolutely.
One day, I want to see a Dax Harwood Montez Ford match.
Dax Montez? Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Dax Tez.
Dax Tez.
You mark my words. That'll be like a headlining act in 5 years.
Where?
Dubs. AE Dubs. Gotta be.
Yeah?
No, because... all right, so I'm on Twitter. All Montez Ford does on Twitter, by the way, is say God is great every day.
Yep.
He says, God is great. God is good. And cool. Good for you, man.
Well, I mean...
That's all he says.
Mr. Brodie Lee, literally the only thing he used to ever post is, it's insert day here. You know what that means.
Yeah.
And, hence the nod at the top of every AEW broadcast. But, like, it's just funny. Like, some wrestlers are like that. Their gimmick is just something stupid on social media.
Oh, and I've got a ton of them that I love lately, but
Oh, I know. You're going to fall down this rabbit hole,
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
going to be hilarious to watch. Are you bored with Reddit? Is that why you're back on Twitter?
Yeah, bored with Reddit, hopping on Twitter, bouncing back and
God,
forth.
you're going to end up in a Chan, and it's going to end up bad.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all the smart. It's like all day, all smart all day, son. Like
Are
I
we
get
going
it
to...
all.
So, all right, here's what we need to do.
Okay.
And I'm just going to throw this out there,
Smart
and it's going to
intervention.
ruin our careers. No, I think we need wrestling Q. I think we need...
yeah. Isn't that
I-
just Bruce Pritchard?
Yeah.
He might be. I think it's actually Nick Khan.
It could be.
Oh,
Could be.
yeah.
Nick Khan is
Or is Nick Khan our actual? He's our Trump. He might be our savior. He
Oh,
might
God.
be the one. He might be the one to save
Is
us.
this the Great Awakening?
Maybe.
All right, we got to stop. We got to
Yeah,
stop.
stop it. No,
We've already tagged ourselves on so many shit.
No.
It's bad. But I don't know. I think that that match, it really depends on what happens with Bianca Belair. Right? Like if Bianca is the top star in WWE,
Yeah.
I don't see Montez going anywhere. Also,
Actually, I see the opposite. I think it would be more beneficial that he might be able to dip somewhere to like, nah, I gotta shine on my own. And
no, because they are like power couple. Like those two are like it's disgusting how like good of a couple they are.
I think they see it with him. I think it'll happen. There's a sort of grooming process. It's just gonna take a few years. Like
Can't
'cause
say grooming. God damn it, Owen.
he was cutting his hair. That's all. That's all.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh.
Hygienic grooming.
Yes, exactly. No, but
yeah.
the man has every quality of a superstar, and so does Dax on the other side. For weirdly different styles like that, they could have an amazingly like. I think they just could have an amazing match. That's a weird dream match that I just threw out there. Let's
I'd
talk.
like to just before we
Go
just
ahead.
jump off that,
Yeah.
I'd like to say that Cash, we got to give props where props are due. Like when
Dude,
Dax was
held
out
that
and in
shit
the back, like
down.
dude, fucking bang up job,
Yeah.
bang up job.
And everybody's talking about how much personality Dax has been exuding lately, like with some of the interviews. But Cash is exactly the same. He's done exactly the same. The both of them, like they've done it in the same manner. They're fucking likable. Like once upon a time, most detestable dudes have all of a sudden become the most likable wrestlers on the planet that everybody is cheering.
Because they're the anti-Young Bucks.
And now the music works. It didn't work at first, but the
Dude.
music works now.
Yeah, because it is so 70s.
Ding 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 ding.
It fucking slaps, dude. I didn't want to, but yeah, like hearing it on that pay-per-view, I was just like, motherfuckers. Shit works. And the color scheme works, and
it's good.
It's hitting that Guardians of the Galaxy nerve for people.
It's that late 70s, kind of like, it's right in that
riding
vibe.
the end of disco when everybody's on cocaine and LSD.
But when good wrestling was good wrestling, Duncan. When
you could still smoke indoors while you were watching a wrestling
and drink
show.
a beer while you're wrestling, or before you wrestle.
Yeah, but
and
the
after
Beer City
you wrestle.
Bruiser
and
still does that.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the crazier things I saw on both the
Hold on, we're not done with Forbidden Door.
Oh, we're not.
No, we're not.
What the hell? What
My
else
number
we
one
didn't talk
match.
about? Oh, he's not even done. He's not even close to done.
No, because we haven't hit my number one match of the night.
Oh,
I'm kind of surprised.
I guess I skipped over that last important part for all of us. Actually, I don't think anybody did.
I mean, there's kind of an important.
I did forget a big important thing that we should probably mention.
There's a large, slender man-ish.
He spins a lot.
He spins a lot.
I like it. I like when he does the spins.
I like when he does the spins.
Makes me
He's
a
bald.
bit dizzy
I'm
when
bald.
I watch him, but I think there might be. This guy, this newcomer, this new indie prospect that they pulled out from nowhere is.
That's right.
I think he might
never been seen before.
He looks young. I mean, he's got to be in his early 20s.
Early 20s, perhaps. Yeah.
Perhaps. Very muscular. Very sexy. I guess he must have been big.
Very Swiss.
Yeah. I think he did look a bit like he was from the Europes. Like he had a bit of that. Yeah, he had a bit of that in him. I saw
Alpine.
He must be big on the indies. I never heard of him. This Claudio Castagnoli's. Yeah, I think is his name. And
yeah, I hear he likes coffee.
Tell you what, made me a bit sick with his spin move. Bit too much for me, but there was a section of people. There was a section of people that seemed to like him. So, what do I know? You know, he was against the very, very prestigious Zack Sabre Jr. I mean, one of the highest technical wrestler on the planet. He's the highest rated wrestler. He's won the Bryan Danielson Award more than Bryan Danielson. That's the fact. That's the fact.
It is those M's the facts.
And
the cold hard facts.
And this new upstart, this Claudio fella, looked a bit familiar.
I can't put my finger on it.
He did. I remember one time when he was like with a bunch of other. Maybe was he one of that group? One of the groups with the foreign people. Was he a foreign person one time?
He was a foreign person.
Was he a foreign? Yeah,
he was. He was a foreign.
Maybe that's where
Yeah.
But anyway.
The League of Immigrants, I believe, is what they were called.
Well, this guy blew my pants off, Duncan. All right,
you weren't wearing pants.
I was not by the end of this match. I found it was that would have to be my number 2 match of the night if I'm being honest. Zack Sabre Jr. Claudio was absolutely fucking fantastic, and some of that is just the debut and the fucking 1812 Overture Angel WK remix of his the theme song and the crowd, like, what a reception.
Their ever loving shit.
As they should. Yeah. As they should. Like, this guy was finally paid the respect that he's been long deserved. And in one night, you could just see this, like, man, this is a different Cesaro Claudio. You know? Yeah. Like, this is a different fucking guy. Did you guys not feel that same way? I did.
Oh, it was next level.
Yeah.
He was super grateful too. I mean, he kept saying thank you, and like, you could tell he was kind of humbled by it.
Yeah, because he hadn't wrestled in so long. It had been a while since we had seen Cesaro, or since we had seen Claudio. Yeah. I mean, even longer since we had seen Claudio than Cesaro. But I just thought that it was like that intensity was turned up, and like that's what, dude, I don't know what it is, but every single indie match I've ever been to, PWG, like anything that's not one of the at the time big 3, right? Like WWE, Impact, Ring of Honor before AEW was a thing. Anything that wasn't one of those was just so high impact. I'm like, motherfuckers are in a bar, like and yet they're just going banging so hard, and that's what it felt like. It just like banging hard. And the thing about Zack Sabre Jr. is not only is he a phenomenal technical wrestler, but he is also a stiff striker.
Yes, he is.
So like
he's as stiff with his kicks and fists as he is with his cunty words.
Correct. And that match alone, the Zack Sabre Jr. versus Daniel Bryan, like that was when I was like, I'd pay $10 to watch that match.
Yeah,
is it worth paying the?
It was disappointing that we haven't got to see it, but that's obviously something that now we can keep. Like that will happen. Like
it sure will.
That will happen.
Yeah,
Blackpool Country Club. I mean, is still one of the best lines. Like,
I love that. And I had like that was how I sort of was like, is this worth buying? And I broke it down to 10 matches, and I'm like,
and we figured it was gonna be Cesaro, right? Like we had all pretty much had that. Like,
I think we all pretty much called it during predictions.
And we were gonna be actually at that point we were gonna be mad if it wasn't. Like it was.
It could only have
if
been
John
Johnny
Morrison
Gargano.
If John Morrison comes out, I'm not.
I'm sorry, Johnny Elite.
Sorry, I'm not having a good time. Like I'm not having a good time.
No, that's a French fry when they should have pizza moved.
Yeah. Gargano, I would have been like, yay, but I wish it was Cesaro.
Gargano needs
Claudio.
a better. Gargano needs to go straight into a feud with Adam Cole.
He needs to cost Adam Cole something. He needs to steal. He needs to steal his Owen Hart belt or something, or join the Elite and kick him out of the fucking Bullet Club, or do something like that. Dude.
That's it. How would you?
I don't
assuming, know. Right? Like assuming that Gargano joins AEW, which I feel like
it probably will happen at some point.
Seems likely.
Or even if it's just for a bit, right? Like maybe it's
like
not
an on appearance basis, like Rouge.
Could be. Yeah.
Like how would you have him debut? Would you have him debut with Candice? Would you have her be separate? Would you have her not come in at all?
It depends what you want to do with him, right? I think your instinct is incredibly correct that he needs to do something with Cole, and he needs to maybe he's a catalyst to help the Bucks turn face, and maybe it's helping a dastardly Cole, right? That's and sets up a feud with the two of them. I could see something like that working. I can see Gargano with the Undisputed Elite, with the Elite, all those different factions. He's a guy that can absolutely kind of even though he never was in the Undisputed era, he sort of fits into the black and gold that is the Undisputed Elite. If that makes sense. There's
it does. Here's what I would do. I think I would keep Johnny for later. You know what I mean? Save it for when it makes sense. Because right now you're just going to shoehorn it in there somewhere, right? Let a few more contracts lapse. Let the roster kind of thin out a little bit, but bring in Candice, because the AEW women's division needs a high Candice LeRae is one of the most respected women's wrestlers in the world.
I'm gonna say something that fits perfectly in with I think the sort of direction that I think you would agree with, Duncan, but it's kind of controversial. I think that AEW needs to have the balls to do intergender wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it needs. I think that it's time. I think that it's time to do it.
I have, from our friends at Dark Light, I have a patch and it says intergender wrestling is rad. Because you know what? Intergender wrestling is fucking rad. One of the best matches I've ever seen is He Who Shan't Be Named but was fired from Disneyland and Candice LeRae versus the Young Bucks at PWG.
Yep.
It's a fucking bloodbath.
Yep.
And it's Candice's blood. Dude, just like Dustin at fucking you just shuddered because you pictured it.
I know. I've seen pictures of the match, and
have you not actually seen?
Never watched it in full. No, I've not watched that match in full. I know of it. But if it's I've seen pictures, and you're right. It's that level of blood, like when we were at Double or Nothing, and
but it
that
works
Cody
because of the story. It's that culmination. It wasn't like.
See, I don't know. I don't know the story of all that and where that all comes from.
I had to go back and look into a whole lot of this stuff. But going back and watching that stuff and the world's cutest tag team versus the Young Bucks and things like that, I was just like, oh my god! It was a fantastic. This was when PWG was still real underground.
And this is incredible to this right now and something that is very top of mind. In obviously we've had a lot of bloody matches this week. But before we get to, the blood and guts of it, we have to kind of talk about the Mox
main event.
Tanahashi.
Maxahashi.
So it was fun. It was
it a letdown?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
I felt I was not even whelmed. I was underwhelmed with the match.
I went like, okay, so if like you're like, say like your middle ground is like you're at 0, right? You get like slightly interested, it goes up to maybe a 0.5. You're like, 0.5.
Yeah.
I ended up at the end of it, like right about 0.25, just negative 0.25. Like if my 0 is my baseline, negative 0.25 was
Right.
kind of like, it wasn't like bad. I didn't hate it, but
it was the almost least interesting.
It was forced.
Well, and I think that also the last 2 matches of this entire event, those were kind of after so many of bangers throughout the night.
Hard to live up to.
The
4-way and then that main event, hard to live up to.
Well,
but also,
you think about the way we're talking about this match, this Mox Tanahashi match, and then how we then feel like when we first started this conversation about Orange Will Ospreay. My God, like compare those 2 matches. Who had the better match? There is no fucking comparison.
Right, but also like compare the energy level going into that pay-per-view.
Energy, that plays a part. That's fair.
And it does. And also the fact that there were 10 matches and it was a really fucking long pay-per-view.
Almost 4 hours.
Yeah. And it didn't have a break. Like that was the thing about that. It was a New Japan style pay-per-view in that regard where it was just like go, 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 go. Very
So
short.
So 2 things. One, it seemed like when I forget which one you just said seemed kind of forced.
Yeah.
I will say Tanahashi and even Okada, those both seemed forced with the other wrestlers.
Yeah,
and
they phoned it in.
And so I think there was that, but noting the length and such, and we can go to this later if you want to, but Tony Khan's comments recently about, WWE doing it, having done 2-night pay-per-views and stuff, and he's open to the idea of doing some 2-night pay-per-views. He's like, the roster's so big, they are long. I agree. Like, what do you think about that?
I don't think that pay-per-view didn't feel too long to me. Like, I felt that it flowed well enough that you could have shaved maybe half an hour off it, but that's all you needed to shave.
I
didn't feel like it was too long.
I didn't necessarily feel like it was too long. I just feel like I know that they wanted the 2 quote unquote main events to be the quote unquote main events, and
that was like the whole last hour.
Yeah, but the 4-way should have been somewhere earlier in the card.
Yeah, it should have been.
It was terrible timing for me because it was the night that the Tampa Bay Lightning were losing to the Colorado Avalanche in the Stanley Cup Finals. So it was on at the same exact time, and they almost ended like one ended before the other. The hockey game ended before the pay-per-view, but I was watching both. Like I was literally like trying to like I had my laptop on one.
Stanley Cup that night. I was just like, I got to choose one over the other because I want to watch both.
Right.
And I was like, I might as well watch this one that's like a once in a lifetime maybe for the Colorado Avalanche. So I was like, I'll go back and watch.
And congratulations, blobbity blobbity blop. We'll be back next year. All the hockey talk, bloopity bloop. But the thing that took me out of that Mox Tanahashi match is when there was an obvious like bump to the outside and Mox like, okay, time for the Mox gonna bleed now, and like because he didn't
himself way too fucking hard.
Yeah, well, no, he didn't even get hit in the head. There was no move that would imply that Mox should be bleeding.
He pulled a Ric Flair.
Yeah, so he just rolled outside. And he was like, "Okay, here's my giggy thing. Do the deal." Camera goes back. There's Mox. Ah, my blood in my eyes because I'm John fucking Moxley. Can we not do it every match?
Every time.
Can we not do
Yeah,
it every
it's old.
match? It's and stuff like that. Maybe we'll just roll right into this. Is kind of what desensitizes something like Blood and Guts that happened this past Wednesday.
From Detroit.
Blood and Guts was actually an enjoyable show. It was smart the way they did it. The first hour was some kind of comedy stuff. They had they had Hook. First off they had an Orange Cassidy win over Ethan Page.
They had Danhausen,
and then they
bring
had
out FTR,
Danhausen
which
with
is fucking
FTR.
great. I love it when he came out. He's like, "Yeah, they said I should find some guys, and I found some guys. They seem to know a lot about wrestling. They're pretty good at it."
Yeah,
Danhausen here.
Yeah, I like how he calls one's Baldhausen and one's Hairhausen. Like that's how he refers to them.
I can't even get over how much I love Danhausen. It's still the greatest.
Okay. Here's what's impressive, man. That could have been the one trick pony, right?
Yeah,
he's been able already. He's proven it's not. Already, it's not just like, okay, the one joke and it's over, because he keeps doing little new, and as long as he keeps doing that, it's like the mini reinvention every once in a while, and just as long as he keeps doing that, he's gold. He can do it forever.
Absolutely,
guys, yeah, absolute genius. But then we had some shit with, I don't know, fucking Jade Cargill and some other bitch that happened. Obligatory women's match, and then it went the Blood and Guts. I might be missing
Blood
something.
and Guts was like the whole second hour.
Yeah, whole second hour, and it was good. It was structured really cool. I don't know if it was good as the first Blood and Guts, but then the first Blood and Guts was soured by the end and that, cheesy Chris Jericho fall. But then they sort of did the same thing with Sammy, and I kind of wish they would just not do that.
it really does take away from the impact of it, right?
Yeah.
It's just like, oh,
I get
we know
it.
that's gonna happen.
I get it. But I don't know that you need to do it. It seems a little just kind of meh.
The problem is they didn't need to do it in the first match. Jericho didn't need to go off the cage,
and
right?
now they don't.
Yeah.
They certainly don't need to do it in the second, but they feel like they have to.
Yeah, there's nowhere to go from there now.
From there, yeah.
Okay, I will say though, there's
Through the ring,
there's a ton of great moments in this match. First off, Kingston, when he gets in the ring with his just bitch slapping everybody with the kendo stick, the way that he does it, he's just clack, 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 clack.
He's like fly swatting.
One of the
I
funny.
fucking love Eddie Kingston so much.
He's the best. He's the best. One of the highlights. I also thought Daniel Garcia was incredible in this. I thought there was one facial expression that he had after, I don't know who nailed bloodied him up real good. Can't remember who it was, but he had this look. I think it might have been Mox. But yeah, he looked just absolutely shook, right? Gone, absolutely shook. So he was great. Daddy Magic was great. That whole spot where
always great.
they did the whole thing with the skewers in the fucking head. They did whole thing with the skewers. Yeah.
So the one thing about Kingston is I've had several people talking to me and they're just I don't get Eddie Kingston. It's just I don't I know why I'm supposed to get, and I'm look, and I think I said it to you, Owen. It's just I can't be Kenny Omega. I can be Eddie Kingston.
Yep.
Eddie Kingston is
real.
relatable.
He's us. He's
I
maybe
also
not me, but maybe not you, but he's someone that I have met before. that if I
Oh, I
worked
know
along,
Eddie Kingston.
I know I might not be me, but I know an Eddie Kingston.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I've hung out with Eddie Kingston.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
But like, and I just think like if you, it's a relatability thing, you know. And I think that he is relatable. Like he doesn't have the best physique, but he's fucking intense, and he will fight you and poke you in the eye and bite you and claw at you, and it's just like it is a.
And what a story they told in this match with him just wanting the retribution against Jericho, right?
Yeah.
And him, and obviously with the tensions with Claudio, you know, before the match, like long stemming stuff from Shikara, because they never finished their feud because, you know, Claudio went to WWE and they never got to finish. Like, I think the words that Eddie Kingston has always said, by the way, leading to this, is if I'm talking about me, it's a shoot. If I'm talking about anybody else, it's a work. It's all a work when it comes to him and Claudio, right? Like they're bros deep down. Yeah, they might have had some fucking like little bit of bullshit, but it's a feud that they just kept alive for years that they can now reignite. So there's this like little animosity between the two of them. They've got, you know, this new debuting Claudio in this blood match. They've gone through hell and back. Finally, here we are. Kingston's about to tap out Jericho, who has been his nemesis. He wants to make him suffer. He wants to make him tap out. But right behind him, you've got Claudio tapping out. Who was it? Was it Daddy Magic? Who was up there with
I thought it was Cool Hand and
I can't remember who it was, which one it was.
Was it Sammy? No.
On top of the
No, because Sammy had already gotten thrown off by that point.
Jericho?
No, well, Jericho was with Kingston, and who was Claudio tapping at him? I think it was one of the 2.0 boys.
The 2-point boys.
Yeah, I think it was Daddy Magic personally. I think it was whoever it was. They tapped out before Eddie could get Jericho to tap out, and he was pissed. Like he sold that like he was disappointed. Like yeah, great, we won, but no, like this was my moment.
Like,
this is my moment on top of the cage too. It's my moment. You stole my moment, so that's gonna be something that they will obviously play upon in the coming months, and it will. I think it'd be really cool. I think it will also tie in a little bit into what I know you wanted to talk about, Duncan, in Santana and Ortiz.
Man.
Because seems like it's a sad situation. It seems like maybe there's a little trouble in paradise in that tag team.
Yeah, it's what it seems like. It seems like there's some heat between the two of them. Their last tag team match, 2-on-2 tag team match, was in February.
And I think the most telling thing of all of this is that I think it's Ortiz is taking bookings. I think they're taking bookings just separate from each other, right?
Yeah.
Like they're taking I don't know who's taking more or whatever.
I think it was both of them, I'm sure, but maybe it was. But
I think Ortiz is taking bookings and Santana. I don't know. One of them
Santana is now injured.
Exactly. Or was he injured? Like that's the funniest thing about this match because he's just like, nah, I'm done with this shit. I'm gonna get injured and get myself out of this
apparently
match. I don't want to do this shit.
But his contract's up in September.
Yeah.
September 1st.
Another reason that I would, if I was him, I'd be like, you know what? Nah, I gotta sit this one out. Oh, hurt my knee.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I'm already pissed, right? If I'm already on the way out.
Yeah. What's shit? It's not even 90 days at this point.
Yeah. What are they gonna do? Fire me? Oh, it's
the amount of times I have had that attitude about things. I'm just like, what are you gonna do? Fire me? Fuck you.
It's sad because I think I like Santana more than I like Ortiz, even though I like Ortiz a lot as well. I think Santana's better in the ring. Ortiz is probably the more charismatic, and there's a lot though that you can do with Ortiz. And what if you pair Ortiz because of this breakup with an Eddie Kingston?
Yeah, that tracks.
That
What if Ortiz doesn't renew either?
it's possible. It's absolutely possible.
Like that's the thing is like we're starting to get into this time when
They're AEW's like not renewing a lot of those contracts, and a lot of them were the people that they probably would have never hired anyway if the pandemic had never happened. Let's not forget that Tony Khan was extremely generous in a period where indie wrestlers weren't wrestling, and he gave a lot of people contracts for like short contracts to keep them employed.
He gave a lot of people paydays.
Yes.
But like a lot of the contracts that are expiring are contracts that are earlier, right? Like
that are kind of from the start.
Joey came before that for sure, but like
Joey was an OG.
Alan Angels, by the way, the guy that I think we're alluding to that just kind of has gone through this. He was 100% one of those like pandemic boys, if you want to call it that.
But he was there. But
Peter Avalon was as well. Like they were there doing.
Peter Avalon was one of the librarians,
but they were doing per appearances. Like I'm not saying they weren't with the company, they weren't doing stuff.
Oh, you're just saying.
I'm saying
contractually.
Contractually, they got a lot of them got their contracts during that time, and I think it was a Tony Khan like, hey, we need to keep this alive. You're part of the core now for a bit, you're right, and we need to keep you here. So he paid him, and he did right. I think he did right by him. I don't think there's anything dirty in letting any of these guys' contracts expire. It's like because they can come back later. Alan Angels, by the way, I was extremely impressed. Everyone was impressed with his match with Kenny Omega. He killed it, right?
Yeah.
Kenny put him on the map. That dude is like 25 or something. Like he's young.
Oh,
go run that dude's gonna run the indies. He's gonna come back in 4 years, and he's gonna be
I'm not saying that these people, but what I am saying is that everybody talks about AEW's roster being too bloated. Just like a lot of these OG contracts aren't getting renewed. They're going away because the talent that they would have signed originally wasn't available.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
True.
Like,
yeah,
I don't think you would have seen necessarily Joey Janela if an Adam Cole would have been available.
AEW's had like 3 or 4 waves of that too, right? Because there was that whole like Mark Henry Big Show era. Like, why do we really need them?
Mark Henry, Big Show, Christian.
Yeah.
And the only one that's really like
Christian.
I don't know what Big Show and Mark Henry are doing behind the scenes, if they're doing agent work.
I'm sure they're actually quite valuable. I'm sure they are.
I would think they're working with someone like Satnam Singh or like something like that.
Wardlow.
Like, Wardlow, like big
even
guys,
Luchasaurus. Even Luchasaurus.
Yeah.
Man,
his new entrance, fucking badass.
I was super stoked about it. I know he changed the mask, but I wanted him to have the old Lucha Underground like one that the really evil like lizard thing he had beforehand. But like the only problem I have with it, cool music. I like the whole deal with him being with Christian. I think that's gonna work really well. But did it not just come across a little bit like we're ripping off Kane? Especially with the fire and shit.
Kane,
the music and the fire.
Hold on, but Kane doesn't get that anymore. Fuck Kane. Fuck Kane forever. We can wipe that away. He doesn't we're staking a new claim to it.
We can, but the casual viewer that knows Kane, I get
Fuck
it.
Then now forever.
I'm not sure that's gonna do anything for fucking it might be more of a hindrance. I hope he can make it his own. I don't know.
I think that you're, and I don't know if now the more I'm about to say it, I'm like, fuck, I shouldn't bring this evil into the world because we wanted them to be separated, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus.
Yep.
But maybe Luchasaurus is working fucking Christian, and he's gonna like and like Jungle Boy has this darkness, and he's gonna come back, and like Luchasaurus is gonna be the one to help kind of bridge that gap and show him a little more. Because I mean, there's still obviously going to be some connection. I mean, even when you looked at Christian's promo from this week, where he's like, you know, I did. It's like I was getting a lot of heat last week, but you know what? And then he's like, I wish your whole family died. You know, was dead, and it's like except for your mom. And then I mean, that was hilarious. Where he said
Okay,
the whole
okay, okay.
thing. But they're not gonna let that go.
Jungle Boy's injured, right?
Yes.
And I think he might be out for a little bit. He's injured. I still maintain that this was gonna go a different fucking way. And it should have gone a different way. It should have been Jungle Boy to turn heel with Christian and not the other way around. I think the fucking dragon should have been kept, or the lizard or whatever he is. He should have been kept as the good guy to sell the merch. And then you turn him into Jungle Jack Perry, which is actually a cool name. Like he needs to not be Jungle Boy when he comes back now. He's Jungle Jack Perry. Like there needs to be a gimmick change of some description. I was just hoping for it to be a heel turn. I guess it doesn't have to be. And yeah, if he comes back and he's cool enough and he can pull it off and they've got enough like behind a new gimmick with him, then maybe he can pull like they'll have a feud and then he can pull Luchasaurus out of the dark, right? And defeat Christian eventually. But I was like, okay, so I guess that's Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, and Christian marked off for the year. Like it does seem like okay. Well, that's kind of. I mean, is it boring? No, but yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like I like we can already see the way like these things can go. I hope they do I hope they do something spontaneous with this. Like maybe it's just a Luchasaurus turn on Christian. For instance,
I think there's a way to do a Luchasaurus turn on Christian while keeping him heel. Like you don't have to have him go back to Jungle Boy.
I kind of want like that, though it's tough because Christian is such a fucking good heel. That's also, you know, part of the issue. Okay.
He's dreaming over there, just so any dog noises you hear is Jack dreaming.
Oh, he's going. That's a dog.
Dude, it's my favorite thing.
Number one dog dream wrestling podcast.
That's right.
So, okay, yeah. I was telling Duncan earlier, Matthew, that I rejoined Twitter under my actual like name, Owen Butler. But I don't
at Big Dick Butler.
So I don't have any posts. All I do is follow every wrestler and every wrestling publication. So I'm just like I'm straight up just following, right? Like I'm lurking.
You're like me. I'm on Twitter, and it's like every morning, like I look at my phone, my alarm goes off. I have all these Twitter notifications. It's always, you know, Jericho, you know, other wrestlers, and you know, things like that. You know, Sean Sapp, and so I click on them, and then I look at some of the comments, and then I immediately like start getting angry, and I'm like, fuck all of you. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm not letting this evil affect my day. And then I fucking get off Twitter, and then the next day it starts again, and I'm like, fuck all of you people.
And see, look, and I just started shit talking politicians, and the first time I got a 24-hour ban, then I got a 7-day ban, and I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I just
So far, I haven't had to have any worry about that.
I was pretty ragey during the pandemic.
True. I'm not like I'm there. I'm watching. I'm purposely not ever gonna post. Like I'm not even liking. Right. I'm just there. I'm watching. We just lurk. Just there.
You're watching in plain sight.
Mm-hmm.
Always lurking, never working.
Yeah, that's me. I'm good at that. That's a good always lurking, never working.
It's my buddy James in Australia. That's his like hashtag.
Okay, that's good. I'm writing that down, by the way. Always lurking.
Maybe that's the name of the podcast.
Could be.
Yeah.
It could be. Yeah.
Always working.
So here's what I was gonna say.
Always lurking, never working.
Always working, never working. So here's what I say about
working
this.
On my twerking.
And in my lurking on the Twitter, I was seeing how, you know, Fuego del Sol, he was that little kid from nowhere that had a tornado. He did the tornado DDTs. Didn't he almost beat Miro? He was so close to beating Miro.
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
the
yeah,
thing. They were giving him a little push, and it was like one of those like kind of cute jokes, if you're being quite frank about it. And he still does dark. Like, I don't think he's got a contract. He's in probably a per appearance basis. But he like goes and tweets out like a couple days ago that he bought a wrestling ring, and he's so excited because like finally I can get to train whenever I want. I got a wrestling. It's coming in the next. So the ring arrives at his house, and he takes pictures of the ring, and it's pretty sorry looking, man. Like he's like not done setting it up yet, but
It's very sorry looking.
It's pretty sorry looking. And
what you're saying is we could have built a better ring.
Kind of, yeah. And there's a few wrestlers that are they're not clowning, but they're kind of clowning, and like on it.
Does it deserve to be clowned on?
A little deserved clown. Dustin Rhodes was, son, what are you gonna do when it rains? Like,
That's what I was just about to say. I was like, dude, it's fucking like outdoors in his backyard.
But it's the way you put it. It's like, son, what are you gonna do if it rains? like, have you thought about that?
Fucking.
It's
I love it.
It was one of my favorite.
I love Dustin. I will always have a soft spot for him.
He might be a shithead too, but I don't care. He's funny. One of the other funny things that I found out was, I think you probably heard this. It was all around wrestling journalism this week, but AEW lended some of their names to the John Cena tribute on Raw, right? Like they had a John Cena tribute, 20 years John Cena, and I think it was Jericho got aired, Big Show,
Daniel Bryan. They did it. They recorded a Mark Henry, but didn't use it.
This is that's the funniest thing to me. Is like you said, they recorded a Mark Henry one, and poor bastard, they didn't even use it.
Because he probably ended it with like, and now it's time for the main event. Enough talking.
He probably ended it by introducing his child hand.
Yeah, it could have. Yeah, that could have been part of it too. I also, in my Twitter excursions, became aware of a indie wrestler named Hoodfoot.
Oh, Jesus.
And I wish I would have never heard of such a person, because the only reason I know about this person is he was in a GCW match and almost died. And
Hoodfoot?
Yeah, Matthew, don't. Like, there will be videos. And I will warn you, you will not want to see the video. This is one of those. This is one of those when
it's not a YouTube friendly. Like it's gonna be on like whatever the other ones are.
This is an NC-17 clip, is what I would say it probably is. It's and a guy almost dies. It's when light tubes go wrong. An indie wrestler,
which is pretty much all the time.
All the time,
I'm gonna
yeah.
say.
Just don't do it.
So in my digging through my Twitter experience, I have learned something, boys.
Oh boy, what did we learn today?
I have learned,
Captain?
Well, some indie promotion was saying, "Hey, we're doing a light tube match tonight. But you bring all your light tubes, bring your bundles, because we're going to have some high-quality technical pro wrestling where you need light bundles and stuff, but only T12, which is the wider diameter." And this was right after this incident happened with Hoodfoot. So there apparently are, this is maybe part of the issue with what happened with him. There are certain diameters that break differently and shatter differently, and people seem to. Or this independent thinks that the T12 only T12, and they put they showed it on the thing, like this is where you find it on the bulb when you buy them at the hardware store. Here they circled it, one of those things.
Yeah.
So I wondered if you guys had ever heard of that or thought I'd never heard anything about a T12 or.
I mean, I don't know the specs on light tube death matches, but I do know that there are different diameters of fluorescent light bulbs,
and it doesn't sound too crazy, right? Like
like if you
the
think
wider
about it,
one would be better than but this is the wider one.
And see, I don't know that I agree with that.
Yeah.
Once again, not an expert.
Right. Don't want to be. Don't want to be.
No, don't want to be. Here's how it's going to happen. One of them, either the large or the small diameter, I'm not going to say because I don't fucking know. One of them will explode on impact.
I think that's like the middle ones. That's like the
other one.
They have that pop. Remember that pop? We've all done it.
Yeah.
Like the pop. Like, yeah.
Yeah, because that's the fucking. Oh, God damn it! The chemical inside of it escaping, but
mercury, isn't it? Isn't there mercury in there? Yeah.
Oh, dude,
no, there's all sorts of bad shit in that.
Yeah. But the so like you're gonna have that, or you're gonna get the other diameter, which will legit break and be a jagged piece of hollow glass.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of what happened in this match with Hoodfoot, but the dude that he was facing, and I don't really want
it happened. It was less than 90 seconds into the match when this injury happened.
And the ref like does check on him, but like doesn't hold back the dude that's still in kayfabe and goes and like still punches the shit out of him as he's like bleeding from his artery. Like, have you seen it, Duncan? Like, did you end up watching? You had to, right? Yeah.
Of course I had to. You know why? Because I'm dead in fucking side.
Yeah, Matthew, I don't want you to, but
he's gonna.
Yeah, he's watching.
He's watching it right now.
Yeah. I'm not. I'm looking up. I'm trying to figure out.
Well, I can never tell because I can't.
Diameter light tube.
I can't see behind those.
We're doing science on science, bitch.
Yeah, that, and I ended up on a Lance Storm tweet from 2019, where he said, I had to dispose of some compact fluorescent light bulbs and fluorescent light tubes this week. I had to take them to a hazardous waste disposal site because they contain mercury, and when broken, release mercury vapor, which is toxic.
Yeah.
How long before deathmatch wrestlers start having health problems from breathing mercury vapor over and over again after crashing through light tubes?
He isn't wrong.
Seriously, you are advised to wear a mask and open windows while cleaning up a broken bulb in your house.
Yep.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. This is a thing. I don't want to be at those shows where there's like a million light bulbs because there's a lot of mercury in the air.
Well, and
like there's a dust
just
cloud.
Like there's glass dust everywhere.
Yeah, I don't want to. No, thanks. I'm cool.
But like, this is the thing: is like deathmatch wrestling is for some people. I have a very look. When I was a teenager, fucking loved hardcore deathmatch shit.
I don't.
But
hate
it was like the Japanese stuff that was so over the top that it was almost comic book like, right? Like the exploding barbed wire death match, like, which was violent, but wasn't like that. I don't know. Like, there just seems like such a difference. Like, it's maybe it's a generational thing. Maybe it's goddamn,
I can enjoy it if there's a story. And that's my problem, is a lot of it is just done for the sake of it. And if I'm being honest, let's, go back a little bit to that blood and guts match. Again, good match, but kind of for the sake of it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
like what do we get out of it? I guess we get it's got to kind of be the end of that feud with the BCC and, Jericho Society or whatever, right? So, yeah, you maybe get like a Claudio Kingston thing. I don't know. Like I just don't
I
see
mean, we'll
what you're getting
Claudio
out of it.
Kingston, but you know what you get out of it? You get to say, "Hey, look, we've got this edgy we've got this edgy event." And I think that's some of the problem with AEW overall, right? Like, is it just
true.
like they try to be too edgy for their own good? Like
Yeah.
you know,
Well, I think that they're kind of like, I mean, blood and guts. So there was a lot. I was going to ask you guys. We all said we liked it, but there was also a lot. And Owen, maybe you saw this on your Twitter journeys. But
Maybe
I read some articles where they had a lot of people hating on it, saying like this is not pro wrestling. And I'm like, you're watching a fucking event called Blood and Guts. Like, one, what are you expecting going into this? Fuck off. And two, like, they did do a good job of telling their story stuff, but like, it's kind of expected for that. It's the name of it. But I do think AEW, to your point, Duncan, does rely on some of these hardcore matches a little too fucking often.
It does.
Again, like, going back to the point of like Moxley cutting just to fucking cut, like with Tanahashi, right? Like, you don't need that all the time. And like, when you do, it shouldn't, like, it takes the
was
shock
he
out
doing
of it
that?
when it's
Was he
expected and happening
doing
all the
that
time.
as like? Was that his way of like advertising the show in the next week? Like, because that's what it felt like, right? Like next
No,
week
because he
you'll
bleeds
see
every
even
time.
more of this. Like,
no, he's seriously
Yeah.
like we can be honest. John Moxley is the new Ric Flair when it comes to I'm gonna bleed every time I'm on the ring.
we need to actually like look at that and go back in his case. Like, it's got to be especially like it's got to be every match since he's come back since his rehab. It's gotta be like I can't imagine that there hasn't been one.
That's
like,
his thing. He's gone from alcohol to cutting.
Yeah, it's kind of it. Like,
so all right, so then
I'm not gonna shit on him. Good for him.
No, I'm not gonna shit on him, but I have a suggestion.
Sure.
I would like to propose a music change for John Moxley.
Okay. No more Wild Thing.
No more Wild Thing. Instead, now we get the 2001 crowd fucking favorite Last Resort by Papa Roach. And it just starts, cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort.
You know, dude, you know what though? He can that would slap, and he would get everybody behind that. Like, it's as stupid as that sounds.
And then you can have Papa Roach, and you can have Papa Roach play that at a pay-per-view because there's still an active band.
He's all fat now too. He looks like John Moxley before he went to rehab.
No, he got thick now. He's
is he jacked?
Yeah.
What was his name? Jabroni.
Jabroni Shaddix.
Jabroni Shaddix. Yeah, him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy. You know what I meant.
No, you know the line is, "My name's Kobe Dick, Mr. Dick if you're nasty."
Oh yeah. That's it.
Oh,
Kobe.
I can't even lie. That fucking first Papa Roach album, I could probably still recite every goddamn word on it.
Speaking of nasty dicks, Duncan.
Speaking of nasty dicks,
you hear about this one? Apparently, The Rock's dad was a bit of a nasty dicker himself.
Man, setting up franchises.
Yeah, dude. What was it? It just came out in a big article where The Rock's dad, Rocky Johnson, famous pro wrestler himself, I think it's 4 to 5 illegitimate kids that have surfaced. So they're all, I guess, cousins. Would they be cousins of The Rock? Or no, they would be brothers or sisters of The Rock. They would be absolute siblings. Or I think you're muted, bro.
Not anymore.
Half siblings.
Half siblings.
So it'd be like half brothers and sisters.
So yeah, there you go. Like Rocky Johnson, he passed a while back, right?
Yeah. He died.
He did, but so is Rock gonna have to go pay a bunch of like illegitimate, like, you know, he will, right? He's gonna.
Everybody gets a house. You get a house. You get a house.
Yeah, or at least at the Howard Finkel truck. Like, if you gave Fink a truck, or no, it wasn't Fink. Was it Fink? Who did he give a truck? He gave a truck to no.
Dude, he just bought Tamina.
House and a new car.
No, it wasn't Fink.
Dude, he's bought a lot of people.
Who was the nerd? Oh, the nerdy manager guy that was always
Whippleman, Henry
yes,
Whippleman.
Henry Whippleman. He gave him a truck.
Harvey Whippleman.
Harvey Whippleman. Him.
Mhm.
Yep, he gave him a truck. I know that. That's a thing that happened, guys.
It is a thing that happened for sure.
It's a thing that happened. Do you want to do some Reggie rumors before we get into our predictions and finish the show?
Rumors.
Reggie rumors. So we're
Rumors. All right, so
talking
this
about our
is
friend Reggie.
we are talking about our friend Reggie, and it is important to state that these are all rumors.
All
There
rumors.
is no truth to this.
No. But Reggie is probably the most underrated wrestling character on WWE TV. I mean, we could have gone over so much more WWE information, but we don't care because really, the only person that matters on the roster is Reggie.
You're not
That's
wrong.
That's all we really care about at this.
This is
point.
true.
So yeah, these are Reggie rumors, and maybe some are made up. Hey, I don't know. It's a rumor. Could be true. Could be false. Don't know.
That's right. We don't know.
I just heard it. I heard it from somewhere.
What
Duncan.
you heard?
I heard
What'd you
something.
hear?
Okay, I heard one.
All right.
I heard he was gonna start a tag team with Ricochet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Reggie
bro.
Shay.
Yeah,
Team
Ricochet.
Ricochet.
It sounds. Hey, that would be a good tag team. They do flips, both of them.
They do flip.
They
Honestly, but like for real though,
they could do
that
it,
would
right?
be a good tag team.
That would be a good tag team.
That would be a solid tag team. I could see that. Like, and the moves that they could do, like the tag team moves
Mhm.
that they could do, would be really good. I could see that. That's a you know what? That's a Reggie rumor. I hope comes to fruition.
I heard another rumor.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Backstage, I heard that Reggie hosts for the new trainees and stuff. He hosts flipping class. Like backstage, like he's like, "Yo, come to Reggie's flipping." He's like teaching the kids how to do the
It's
flip.
on the itinerary.
Go to Reggie's flipping class. That's
He taught me how to flip.
Yeah, you can do one. You went to
Oh, yeah.
Reggie. You went to Reggie flipping class.
Bro, I was at Reggie flipping class before Reggie
Yeah.
was a flipping class.
You heard any Reggie?
Good brother Stafford's been there too.
Yeah.
Ah,
I actually heard that the other day that he actually is still, because he loves being a sommelier so much, that he still works his shifts at the Olive Garden as a sommelier.
Oh,
Yeah.
Every town he goes
word?
to, he's linked in. He goes to the Olive
I
Garden.
mean,
that
that
night.
makes sense. It's a chain, so he should be able to just
Yeah,
pop his
anywhere they go.
employee ID in there and just go.
he's
that's
just
sick.
there for the breadsticks.
Yeah, you know what I heard? I heard that Reggie and R-Truth have a rap battle coming up
What?
against Swerve
What?
and Stokely Hathaway.
What?
Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard it's the next Versus.
Oh man, we need to get Max Caster in there.
Max Caster's actually going to be a special guest. He's going to be in there with Daddy Ass.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is incredible news with Reggie. But have you
Yeah.
heard about the Daddy Ass catastrophe with the Acclaimed and the Ass Boys? I mean,
Ass-tastrophe,
oh
you
my
mean?
God! I've been seeing that on Twitter. Did you know that Colton? He said the Colton Ass. He
Colton
said
Ass.
he said that he had to get an Uber back to the hotel. Dad had a rental car. Said Dad had a rental
What?
car. I had
What
to
an
get an
ass.
Uber.
What an ass.
Yeah, and then the next day he's like, first time in my life had to order Uber Eats. Dad was cooking.
Mm,
Oh my God. It's incredible.
What
I
happened?
feel like badass Billy Gunn, he has chosen the Acclaimed over his own Ass Boys.
Now you know how you're gonna truly know is if the Ass Boys come home and the Acclaimed are having dinner with Daddy Ass.
With Daddy Ass.
That Daddy Ass cooked for them.
And then he offers
ain't
to give him a ride home.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how you know. That's how you know.
That is how you know. Should we money in the predict?
We should money in the predicts. Let me get some theme music. Let's get
Predictions in the
let's
bank.
Get some sexy theme music going on. We don't do that enough.
I like it.
All right, here we go. Since I'm the champ, I'm probably gonna lay back a little on this, because I got the third pick on all these. I already have mine kind of in my head. So, I don't know. What do you want me to pick between you guys? Who goes first? Because I'm not going first. Because I'm the champ and stuff. Yeah.
Just shut up and pick a match.
I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
It's
you might be the champ, but you're also still the host.
Fair. Started off with an easy one for you then. How about a little Bianca Belair versus Carmella?
Bianca.
I mean, it's not a really...
There really is no choice.
There's a lot of those on this card, by the way.
There is.
Sure
yeah.
is. Sure
Might
is.
as well just call the next women's match.
Yeah,
Oh.
I
Natalia?
too am going Bianca.
So, I criticized AEW a little bit earlier, right? Of having somewhat predictable cards from time to time.
Sure.
This card is kind of like one of them. And it's a harsh, like, to say AEW is that way would be extremely harsh compared to this one. But there are a few, I don't know, kind of, exceptions to the rule. This one not being one of them. Ronda Rousey, Natalia. Let's just get it out the way.
Rousey.
Yep. I mean, there's no way, right? There's just no way that Bianca loses, and there's no way that Ronda loses.
Not a chance.
Unless, of course, there's some cash in on the night. So that would be the only shift. But you got to go with the common sense reaction to who wins the match on both of these. So this is where it actually starts getting a little bit more difficult. Theory versus Bobby Lashley.
I mean, is this difficult?
Yeah,
Theory.
Yep, it's theory.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's like, I want it to not be theory, but it's going to be theory.
It is. Yeah, it is. It definitely is. It definitely is. Got to be the tag team match that would go next. Usos and Street Profits. Usos champions versus the Street Profits. This one actually is a little bit I can go either way on.
I could go either way, but reasonably sure that the Uggos are going to retain.
Yeah, I'm Usos on this.
Yeah.
Me
Like,
too. But for the sake of being different, I'll go Street
He's
Profits.
going to go Profits.
I mean,
I
look, I
want
would
it to
love to-
happen. I don't think it's going to happen.
no.
But, for the sake of competition.
Here's the argument with this for me as well. We kind of outlined some of this earlier on in the show. This could be a perfect way to actually have the Street Profits split up and to have Tez move on in his own direction. I think that this would be like because how many times has it been Street Profits and Usos? Finally, maybe what's his fucking name? Angelo Dawkins, right? Maybe he screws up the match, screws up the finish. Something happens there, and there's I can't deal with you anymore. I'm done with you. And they do a split up after the match. There's at least an angle. I can see them doing something like that. Keeps the belts on the Usos. Also, then projects Montez forward in a positive light. We can do something with him later down the road.
Yeah.
Just a weird thought. Well, then I guess go to the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Let you guys talk this one out before I throw my 2 cents in there.
All right, well, who's in that goddamn match?
It's Alexa Bliss,
Lacey Evans,
Asuka, Becky Lynch, Lacey Evans, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, and Shotzi.
Oh man, I want it to be Shotzi. It's not gonna be.
Live.
Man, it's like I thought last year it was gonna be Liv's year. If you don't pull the trigger on Liv now, then when do you? When do you?
When do you? Yeah.
You know what? God damn it! I don't like. I want to. Becky.
I feel like Lacey has a shot in this too because they were doing
Probably.
a lot of stuff building her before this. Like, so I don't know that she's out of the question on this one, man.
I don't know that Asuka's out of the question either.
And I don't know that Becky's out of the question.
No, that's why I'm gonna.
Didn't Asuka already win it once? The pandemic one.
Yes, and
Yeah,
she
she
traded it to Becky.
Yeah, when she had the baby and all that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with big time Becky no belts.
Yeah. Okay. Fuck! I was trying to trick you out of that.
I know you were.
I'm Becky too. And there's a reason for it.
Oh, could the reason possibly be because you're gonna go Seth, and they're gonna be the power couple with the briefcases?
Ding, ding, dum, dum, ding.
Weird.
Yeah. Because I'm booking like WWE does, and that's how you keep the championship. So, Matthew, what are you going with? Who are you going with? Liv?
Who?
You going with Liv?
Yeah, because you only live once.
Okay. I didn't know that was your final answer. So then, it comes down to the men's. And I've already kind of put out my cards with that. I do think it's probably going to be Seth Rollins, but the other contenders are Sheamus, Drew McIntyre, Madcap Moss as of last night, Omos, and Riddle.
Oh, obviously Madcap.
Riddle is another guy though.
I think Riddle's a good. He's been on a solid push. He's been doing really well.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I'll say. Even though I don't think he's gonna win, he will make the match interesting just because he's in it. Thank God he's in that match. Otherwise, it's a boring ass match if you ask me.
Yeah, I agree. Oh shit! I mean, honestly,
he's gonna cash it in at Clash of the Castle or whatever the fuck.
I mean, is that who you're going, Drew?
Yeah.
And it's not.
He's gonna cash it in because there's gonna be some sort of Roman match or something.
I think he gets that match anyway, and Seth cashes it in on Drew at the Castle after he beats Roman. That's the way I would go with it if I was booking.
You want to know how I would go with it if I was booking?
But I'm going Seth. Even though I'm your champ, I'm gonna put it down on paper first. I'm going Seth.
You're going Seth?
Yeah.
Here's what I would do. I would have Riddle win the briefcase.
Which would elevate him so much, just even having it in his hands. Even for a second, it would.
But then we've got the last man street fight, whatever the fuck, with Brock and Roman at SummerSlam, right?
Okay. Well, is that booked? Is that done? Like, is that on paper?
I'm sure that's where we're going. It's the next big pay-per-view. That's the logical thing, right? So
whoop-de-fucking-do, right?
Yeah. But you have the beatdown, right? That sort of match. And then I would love to see, because Riddle has shit-talked for years about beating Brock. So if Brock were to take the title from Roman after a last man standing match, a brutal ass last man standing match, like fucking rings destroyed, all that shit, and then Riddle comes out, cashes in, bro to sleep, whatever he hits his moves, taps out, doesn't tap out Brock, but locks in his submission.
Brock's out cold. Brock's out cold. But he gets a 1, 2, 3. It doesn't matter.
Or he gets a submission and Brock can't.
Yeah. That would be dope. And then you have this this tension between the two, because Brock's gonna come get him at some point, and I would be down with that. I don't hate that idea at all.
I don't hate that idea. It will never happen in a million years.
It probably wouldn't. It's too good, Duncan. You can't do that to us. You're teasing us with good booking from the WWE.
You know what? I don't want to win the championship, so I'm gonna go Sami Zayn.
You're gonna. Oh, you know what though, too. Like that is totally a heart because you're not wrong. Like he would be the best of those heels to hold that belt because of how annoying and annoyingly entertaining he would be with that briefcase.
Yes.
Matthew, have you come to a decision?
Oh, I stated it like 9 times. True.
Yeah.
Still going.
Yeah, he went Drew.
Well, I have to ask you just to make sure it's down on paper, and that's where it is. So
Is that your final answer?
Drew? I'm okay. Even if you win, Matthew, with Drew like being your pick, you're not. Are you like thrilled with Drew McIntyre with the briefcase?
Or do any of us?
Are any of us?
Not at all. I just think that it's gonna end up something for him
to
and
do.
It ties into Clash of the Castle somehow.
Yeah.
I think that's my only reason. Yeah, no, I'm not excited about it at all. I think Riddle is a much better choice. That's who I would want. That's who I want to win. But I think it's between Riddle, Seth, and McIntyre. But I think it's McIntyre because I think it's stupid. I don't know. It's stupid.
It's stupid any way you look at it.
Last couple things before we get out of here now that predictions are done. So Jeff Hardy pleaded not guilty to his DUI.
Which it's a bold strategy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we'll see if it pays off.
Yeah. Interesting. I saw that video. Not sure that I would have done the same. And last,
if you don't have a recollection of any of that happening, you're like not guilty.
No, I wasn't there. I mean, I
was
technically I wasn't there.
Sure, that video looks a lot like me, but can't guarantee it's me.
Definitely didn't have the face paint on or anything. Definitely wasn't like doing the.
Yeah.
I wanted.
Let's just say, had he not gotten in, like we're all very glad he did not get in an accident and like hurt someone or a bunch of other people. But like, how much of a premonition would it have been if that had happened? And like that, you're like, oh shit, WWE did do that whole thing, like where he did crash the car
and he crashed outside the PC and fuck.
Might have
that
been.
Would be so bad. God damn it.
It's kind of terrible. We last but not least, it's kind of a two-parter, but wanted to ask your opinion on it. Big WWE news. Another celebrity signing. Logan Paul signing a multi-year deal. I'm assuming this will be like a few matches every year for a few years.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be a lot of money. And his first obvious choice of an opponent, as he signed they said in the contract signing, was going to be The Miz. Now, we have heard in the past that if Logan Paul was going to do any work with the WWE coming around, that he wanted to be a face. Even though when he actually debuted in the WWE against the Mysterios with The Miz, if I'm not mistaken, he was definitely playing a heel, and he was tremendous at it. Hate the dude as a person, but what the as a celebrity, like hopping into the world of wrestling, the dude got it. The dude was really fucking good. And he is a natural heel. Why are they going to do this? Do you think he can work as a face? Do you think they will do it as a face? Or is this just kind of like a bit of a work on all of us?
I think he'll do it as a face. It's going to be like that same thing as like when Rousey first came in. I mean, two different backgrounds completely, but like when they bring someone in, right? Like you saw he could do the heel work with like Miz. He was a great job, but it was a perfect way to turn him complete fucking face for when he did sign this contract, right? With the way that the Miz gave him, what's it called? The fucking his move, the skull crushing finale. And so the so it was a good way to do that. They can have their feud. Miz can play heel, but like I think that he can do that, and then when they need him to turn heel, we all know he can do it, or maybe everyone kind of wants it and they slow burn it until it actually happens again. but like, and everyone will be impressed by his wrestling, right? But we're gonna have the better effect of what we didn't get with Rousey when Rousey then went heel, and everyone's like, you suck at this, we're like, he's going to be good at it, right? Like, and I think it'll work. I think he'll be able to work both of them well. So I don't think it's a horrible idea.
So I'm gonna go a little bit different with you here. I'm gonna name you the tag team that WWE is gonna put together. That's gonna be your new super huge hit top tier tag team. It's gonna be Logan Paul and Dominic Mysterio. Do you hate me yet?
Why'd you even put that into the universe?
I
was already
quit.
thinking it. I quit.
I quit.
I mean, it's in the possibility.
Oh no, it's not even. No, it's gonna happen.
Yeah. So they're gonna actually because here's the deal. As much as he's a douchebag, Logan Paul actually has charisma. They're gonna try and get Logan Paul to rub just a tiny bit of charisma on Dominic, and it ain't gonna work. But they're gonna try. They're gonna try. I feel like
give it the old college dropout.
I feel like this is like somehow Logan Paul is the WWE's Hook.
Oh,
isn't that sort of true?
I don't want it to be, but you're probably right.
Should we get out of here for the night? Anything else you want to just throw in there? You good? I don't know. If there's anything.
I mean, Joey Ryan got fired from.
Oh
Disneyland.
yeah. Oh yeah. We have to laugh about that because okay, sex offender can't get a job in wrestling anymore. Get demonetized from everything. No one likes you. Can't get any wrestling bookings.
And
so you get a job at
Disneyland. And first of all, you're posting all these banger matches to the Bar Wrestling YouTube, and nobody's watching them because nobody wants to support you. So you go and you get a job as Jungle Cruise skipper. Nothing wrong with working at Disneyland. However,
I mean, you know what? He would probably be an awesome Jungle Cruise skipper guy too. That's the thing.
But
I kind of feel bad in that. But
apparently, when they did his background check,
did he lie?
No, it just didn't come up for because there's no criminal charges.
Okay,
because it's all related to his wrestling name.
Yeah, because it's all all speaking out movement, right? It's nothing.
Right.
Yeah. So there's nothing on paper or whatever.
There was that photo going around that was just like, hey, Joey Ryan's working at Disneyland, lols. When that went viral, Disney's marketing team or their media team was just like, oh, what's all this Joey Ryan business?
I'm just picturing the media team doing for a second, being taken back, this is goofy.
Gosh, pal.
I'm gonna be a little bit real for 2 seconds here, and I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I actually think that's kind of fucked up. If the dude's trying to restore his life, there's nothing he can do, and he's not causing any harm to anybody, and just having a job.
Correct. However,
I do feel it's kind of fucked.
Harm.
But
Disney
has a clause in their employment that says that you can be terminated for what they call conduct unbecoming of a cast member. So that's anything that they deem.
Well, he would have got that based on his wrestling, even before his goddamn accusations. He was
sure, but he was also inside of his 90-day probationary window as well, so they didn't need a reason.
They probably thought too. It's this is either going to become a bigger issue, or we just okay, Joey, we're just going to go ahead and part ways because this is going to become a thing, and we don't want to.
We're not going to pay you to.
This is going to be a thing
because no one will let their kids and fucking wives get on the fucking.
You're like, aren't you the dick flip guy?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, like, that I bought his apology much like you guys did either, and it was kind of insincere, but at the same time, the dude still has to find a work somehow, and I don't,
It's true.
I don't necessarily like the whole doxing aspect. It's just like, oh,
Yeah.
Joey Ryan, fuck you, like I get out of, like, say, I stole some shit, go to prison, I get out, and now it's just like, oh, look at Owen, he's working at the dollar store, like, that's fucked up. Like,
it is fucked up. You're not wrong about that. It's also like, when it's wrestling related, I feel
we give it a little bit more of a.
Well, no. I mean, like, if you're taking him, like,
let's
like
him
if you're taking
too.
away his wrestling career.
It's him too. Like, it's a very him.
But I also think what's interesting is that, like, the parallel that you drew, Owen, was that, like, if you robbed something, you went away, did the time. You made the effort to become better and went, you know what I'm saying? Like,
he didn't necessarily do that, right?
Like, he gave like a bullshit apology, and, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you haven't really come full circle on this.
That's fair. That's fair too.
So I agree everyone deserves other chances, and like, to your point, Owen, completely agree. Like, you can't just shun everyone out all the fucking time and not allow people have to do things in order to survive and to live. Like, you have to be able to do that. But I also think that that's where my mind goes, is that you have to at least be willing on the one end. Like, people fuck up all the time, but if you, like, go through it and actually come out better, then
also he used to talk so much shit about how much money he made on wrestling too. So
that was his everything. The dude is probably, like, exhausted his funds, not doing well financially. The thing that I'll also say is that what he is doing exactly what we asked him to do, is go away, right?
Yeah.
He is not being asked to be photoed. Like, we asked him to go away. Don't be in the wrestling world. Fuck off. Yeah. Maybe one day we'll entertain the thought of you being involved in this industry once again. But go the fuck away.
Yep.
Trying to do that, and then this happens. I would be a little bit more pissed off at him if he was, like, still trying to get bookings at, like, cons and shit like that, like, but he's not doing that.
That's a good point.
But he's not doing that. He's gone away, and we have asked him to do a thing, and he's trying to do a thing. So, pro Joey Ryan. There we go. Oh, no, I'm joking. You know I'm joking. But I am pro Marty Scurll, and that motherfucker needs a bit of a whoop whoop
whoop whoop. He's been wrestling a lot in Puerto Rico and overseas, and
bring that boy back. Bring our boy back.
And also at the what is it, Mucha Lucha that Hugh used to go to up in Atlanta?
Yeah, it's part of. I think they partner with Dragon Con, so that happens like as part of a thing as well when Dragon Con's up there in Atlanta.
So he's been wrestling. He's been wrestling with them. So
I don't know if you've seen Matthew, but there's a lot of shows popping up near your area lately. There's a couple of good ones that I almost, like, sent you links to of, like, little flyers, like there was one, Lucha and Laughs. I know, wasn't that?
Oh, Lucha Libre and Laughs, yeah.
Yeah. I know that's. I don't know if you've known that, but that's back up and running. And you need to go. You need to go down there. Take some video.
I've been before. It's a fucking really good time.
There were some like big ass names that I saw on the last one that I was just like, oh shit, I wonder if he knows about this. And then I forgot, like a bad friend, to text you about it, but things happen.
There's Respect Women's Wrestling out there. RWW. I think they're at Herman's Hideaway.
Yep. There's also still the Rocky Mountain Pro, which good brother Jay Jansen and I were texting, back and forth, and we were saying, it's been a while, we need to catch up. And I said that, I kept meaning to hit him up because, the first Friday of every month they do the Beer House down in Rhino, and they all wrestle outside and stuff. And, like, some of those wrestlers, so that's where, like, Abaddon came from Rocky Mountain Pro. So Anaya is now he sent me the card for Dark, and Anaya was wrestling on Dark, and Naya's from Rocky Mountain Pro also. So a lot of good actually local wrestling happening around here.
Yeah.
And Al Snow's now training for them.
Hell
too.
yeah.
Ah.
Al
Yeah,
Snow
which
looks-
is right down the street here in Inglewood.
He's
their
another
new
one.
training
Look,
center.
Al Snow looks really good for his age. I'll give him some goddamn credit. Al
Holy
Snow
shit, yeah.
looking really, really good for his age. We'll leave with this because I think it was actually probably the best of the Reggie rumors that never got read. One that could actually even feasibly be a possibility. I think you even texted him this, Duncan. You wanted him to be a part of the new faction that's going on with.
Yeah,
the sexy boys. I'll just call them the sexy boys.
The sexy boys.
The sexy boys.
Maximum male models.
Maximum male models. The triple M's with. It's not JD Drake anymore. What do they call him? Maximilian.
Eli Drake. Now it's
What is he now?
Max Dupree.
Max Dupree.
Max
Dupree with his triple M models is.
But they went and it's like Mansoir.
So we got Mansoor and Mansoir, and now
it's
we've
Mansoir.
got I love it, by the way, love it.
This is what I'm saying. Like they went so far with it,
Yeah.
and the
That it
crowd,
worked again. It was so bad that it worked again. Like it came back around. This is
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
90s. This is a 90s WWF gimmick, and I love it. It's
if they hadn't,
awesome.
like, but that's the thing, the talent committed to it. So like they committed to being like taking it the appropriate level of serious while still taking the appropriate level of piss, and the
Mace to
crowd
face.
didn't shit on it.
No, I think we're all in on the joke, which is what's making it work as well.
Yes.
And that's and there were people that in our Facebook group that were just they couldn't understand it and were just like, oh, I can't believe what they've done to what's his face, now he's a manager and like
Yeah.
all this. It's like
LA Knight.
right? And I'm like, no, this is the best thing that ever could have happened to him. Like this is gonna get over. Like
You
this
know what
is gonna
this
go
is?
far.
This is the going to get over version of the Robert Stone brand.
Yep. It's the main roster version of that. They tried it out several times and like, okay, we know how to do it now. And one of the guys that we were just saying who should be in there, fucking Reggie needs to
I
be
literally
in there.
did text him it, and I was just like, you outdrip Mansoor and Mace.
And you're a good-looking dude, and
That's what I'm saying.
And you got the flippy shit, which is fucking swag anyway. Like,
Right.
He could pull that
It
off.
works on
a
so many
million
levels.
ways. 100% it does. 100% it does. Oh, okay. Well, that was an emphatic ending to the show. I don't have anything to add other than we need to plug a new thing that our good buddy Duncan here set up for us. And it's actually quite important because we know how we like to chit chat along when and on the Facebook group, when someone starts a thread, hey, Monday Night Raw is happening, or there's a pay-per-view happening, telling us whatever it is. No. That's going to end because what you need to be doing is you need to be hopping over into our Discord group. There are links in the Facebook group to get you to the Discord group. But once you're in there, you'll have a bunch. You'll see. You download the app. You get into the thing. It's not that difficult, guys. Trust me. I'm making it sound more difficult than it is. But we have like a whole chat where everybody can be sitting along and dancing around, posting gifts, having a good chit chat about the wrestling pay-per-views. We've even kind of thought about doing some stuff for after shows when after pay-per-views when we can, have a little bit of a talk. When you're all amped up after a pay-per-view and you want to talk to somebody, but you don't have anybody to talk to, well, you're going to have a place to do that now. That's going to be happening over in our Ohno Wrestling Discord channel. So yeah, I think the easiest way is probably just download Discord, right, Duncan? And you can search
you can download it. You can go through your web browser, just search for Ohno Wrestling, and we'll get you in there. And yeah, we got a bunch of channels set up for whatever you could possibly desire as far as wrestling goes.
Yeah.
So
you got some merchandise you just want to swap, sell, trade. There's things for that.
And we got a new thing that we're going to be pushing. Our Dirt Sheet channel is called the Jabroni Phone.
Yeah, Jabroni Phone is our Dirt Sheet. So we're just gonna. I mean, maybe it's real, maybe it's not. Maybe maybe they have children, maybe they don't.
Maybe it's 1-900 Jabroni Phone.
I heard Sasha Banks was fucking gay though. That's what I heard. I think
1-900 Jabroni Phone, $4.99 for the first minute, $18.99 for this every additional minute after that. Build in 4-second increments.
Exactly. And we love you. Of course, check out our Patreon, patreon.com/ONRS. Twitch.tv/ONRS live when we go live. Hey, check out ONRWrestling.com, OhnoRadioShow.com. And what do we say when we get out of here, boys? Woo!
We kicked out right before 3 at the end there.
Yeah.
Restarted.